To downtown Kansas City now, dubbed the People's City by protesters. The South Lawn at Kansas City City Hall remains occupied for the fourth night in a row. You're looking at a live picture. The Kansas City Police Department headquarters is just across the street. Today I talk with Chief Rick Smith about budget cuts, protests, the video that prompted people to camp out in front of City Hall, and his message to those who are calling for him to step down.
I've served this community for over 33 years. I think I still have more to do, and I have no plans to resign.
Chief, I have to ask you about the video from 35th and Prospect. I don't want to get into too many of the details as far as what the department's response is going to be, but what was your feeling watching it?
Well, I think everyone feels it's unfortunate that a lady who is pregnant, 9 months, is involved in one of our arrests, right? We didn't ask her to get involved. She chose to insert herself in our arrest. At that point, our officer made the decision that he wanted to effect the arrest for her for getting involved in that arrest. And, you know, that's what he did. And I think from everything that we've seen that he acted reasonably to effect that arrest.
If you could appeal to the community, obviously there is a lot of frustration about that video. Other videos that have come out, just different instances across the city. I recognize that police have a tough job to do. I think most of the community does, but I definitely get a lot of feedback, we do, that some people don't necessarily feel that kinship or closeness to the police department.
I understand. I certainly, I'm not taking anything away from anybody to feel that. I mean, I would hope that everyone in America saw the video and feel somewhat sorry for the lady who has to get arrested. Again, I wish she would have chose different actions.
The headline of your blog says proposed budget cuts would mean loss of 400 police personnel, and you also note the remainder would have 2-week furloughs. Can you talk to me about how you get to, I mean, roughly 30% of your officers having to be let go?
When we look at the police department budget, 90% of it's salary and benefits, and much of the other 10% is already committed year to year. So the only way to achieve numbers in the millions is usually through personnel.
Up north, people have very fond things to say about the police department, but when you go to some of these neighborhoods in the inner city, they do not feel that they get the protect and serve. They feel like they get the enforcement piece. How do we bridge that gap? I
would say not all of that is entirely accurate. There's some people that will always going to have some distrust with the police, and we want to build those bridges. But I will also say, for the 33 years I've been on this job, we've done nothing but build bridges with our communities. This divide that people create, that they say the police don't want this or on the opposite side, I would say we are the ones that most want this healing, and we are the ones most that want our community to come together.
Tomorrow morning on 41 Action News, we share what Chief Smith had to say about the officer who was shot in the head earlier this year and his message for the Kansas City Police Department right now. We start at 4:30.